Hello and welcome. It's RPGADAY, day 7. It's Sunday. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's the 7th day of August 2022. And once again, I am blatantly using this kitten to shill my vlog. Subscribe to my vlog. Look at this face. This face wants you to subscribe to my vlog. All right, it's RPGADAY, day 7, as we said. And the 7th day question is... System Sunday. Describe a cool part of a system that you love. Well, if you've been around on my vlog long enough, you know that the systems I love in the top of my gaming pyramid are mostly role-playing games about superheroes and randomly generated superheroes. My all-time favorite role-playing game is Marvel FASERIP. My second one is Villains and Vigilantes. I even roll random characters when I'm playing 5e. I'm in a 5e game right now. Everything about that character I rolled randomly. I just figured out a random table to generate his race, class, background, and stuff like that, because I love random. I love DCC because of all the random stuff, and I love superhero role-playing games that have random power generations. I know a lot of other people don't like random power generations because it gives you weird combinations or characters that don't make sense, but I feel that a good enough system like Villains and Vigilantes is built to compensate for how the randomness might seem unfair. I've played dozens and dozens of years of Villains and Vigilantes, and I was never felt that one randomly generated character somehow was underwhelming to another one. In fact, a lot of the characters with only 1 or 2 powers was way more fun than the characters that had 7 powers. Some of the most memorable games I had playing Marvel superheroes were with characters who randomly generated powers, and the powers just didn't work together, and yet somehow we made them. I remember that one of the very first... I think I've told this story before. One of the very first Marvel superhero role-playing game characters I made was a robot. And his main power was chameleon blending. He had that as the highest possible rank that a starting character could have. So basically, if he was standing still, you could not. He blended in with everything. Because he was a robot, I got a very low psyche, will, what you would call it, sense of self. So basically, people had to tell me what to do. The robot had to be ordered around. It was a classic, 1950s robot kind of thing where, you had to tell it, robot, go protect the children. Robot, go fight the bad guys. But, because it had chameleon blending at such a high level, if it was standing still, it would blend in. And because it didn't have any free will, it would wait around for somebody to tell it what to do. And 9 out of 10 times the other players would forget the robot was there because I wouldn't say anything. And they'd get to the fight or get to the emergency and they'd be like, where's the robot? And then they'd be like, oh, we left it back at the base. And I'd be snickering in the corner going, yeah, you left me back at the base. Again. So yeah, I love random tables. And I love the random table generations of Marvel and Villains and Vigilantes. Any game that has tables that randomly let me generate weirdness for my characters, I absolutely love. I love that sense of uncertainty, of randomness. All my favorite characters that I've ever generated for Marvel and V&V and other superhero games were the randomly generated ones. I never really liked, point buy characters. But I know a lot of people are like, Champion's better, but I'm like, no, I really prefer just a random wackiness. I think randomness, randomly generated characters better embrace the comics, especially the comics I grew up on. Now, we could say that, you generate 1 randomly or 2 randomly, and then you build your character around those 2, and any other powers you have might be based upon those. And I could, go for that as a happy medium or whatever. But yeah, if you haven't been on my channel for a long time, you know that Marvel Superhero is my favorite role-playing game. One of the reasons is the random superhero powers table generation and the fact that you can get powers that are cosmically awesome or totally insignificant. We had one guy in a game we played in who had ice powers, but he had them at such a low level of power that basically all he could do was chill drinks. That was about the amount of ice he could generate. So he got a job as a bartender. And he would, chill the drinks in his hands and hand them to people and stuff like that. And people are like, ooh, he's so cool. He can chill the drinks and he can do bartender, cocktail, dancing, whiskey things. Yeah. So Random tables are great. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I love Marvel. It's weird because whenever anybody says, what's your favorite role-playing game, without even thinking, I just go Marvel. And I never really thought about why. If I tried to explain why I love it so much, it doesn't really translate. But yeah, Marvel. So, and why do I love it? Because the random power generation, the random character generation, the random stat generation, just like that. Now, caveat, Heroes Unlimited has the best power description. And I've said this 1,000 times before. If I'm playing or running a superhero role-playing game, no matter what system I'm using, I will go to Heroes Unlimited. You can see it right there behind me. That white thing right there, right there. It's over there. See, white box behind me on the shelf. I will go to Heroes Unlimited because of the descriptions of the powers they've come up with. So, because like if you make a character and say champions, and you've got like, let's use my favorite example, fire powers. And champions, you've just got flame powers and then a number of D6. Doesn't really give you any in-depth personality. Now, Heroes Unlimited tells you exactly what your flame power can do, how hot you can get, how much heat you can generate, how long your heat can generate. So the inevitable question that comes up with anybody who heat powers is, can I, cook it? Can I use my heat powers to cook? Can I use my heat powers to pop, popcorn? Can I use my heat powers to make my Thanksgiving turkey go faster? I've seen it come up in every game I've ever played in superheroes. If somebody has a power that is, able to be used in other situations besides strictly combat, they will start asking questions about how they can use the power in everyday situations. Can I use my heat powers to make grilled cheese? Heroes Unlimited actually lists all the things your flame heat powers can do, how hot you can get. So the answer is right there, whether you can or cannot grill cheese. So no matter what superhero system I'm running, if I'm running superheroes, I will go get the description of the power and tag it on to the system I'm playing, because a full description is way more interesting than just I can do 3d6 flame powers. And of course, Marvel was cool because instead of giving you numbers, it gave you words, which I've blathered about my love for Marvel, and that's the system FASERIP Marvel hundreds of times. So there's no real reason for me to go over it again unless you really want me to. Anyways, that's 7 minutes into day 7 of RPG a Day, where I describe some aspect of a system I absolutely love, and that, of course, is random power generations from random power generation superhero games like Marvel and Vigilantes. If you appreciate this content, let me know. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. The kitten wants you to subscribe. Subscribe. Help me hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. I will talk to you later. Have a great rest of the weekend.